A very good evening to all my non-Tamil speaking friends. Before I proceed on, I would request to all those who are watching this video to stick to the very end of the video, and I promise to keep this video as brief as possible. Yes, today I'm going to talk about the very issue that's burning down in tea, and possibly not many of you are aware of it or really have a very vague idea about it. I really don't want to blame anyone outside Tamil Nadu on this because we have absolutely no media coverage. Both the national and the regional media has ditched us very badly. But that's not broken our will, and we are not going to give up on the cause. Before I speak on the issue, I'm going to throw very quick some numbers and stats and facts, and I request everyone to do your own research about the facts I'm going to give up right now. Okay, there are two varieties of milk available in the Indian market, the milk type A1 and the milk type A2. The A1 is from the Jersey cows and the A2 milk is from the native cows. The A1 milk lacks the protein season and the A2 milk is rich in the protein season. And the A1 that lacks the season, because of the lack of protein season, the people who consume it has high risk of exposure to lactose intolerance, type 1 diabetes, coronary heart disease, and many more. Probably the Indian mothers who are feeding their children most of the Indian mothers back in India are feeding your child with A1 type of milk. Why we are at risk? Why do you think like most of the mothers are feeding the children with A1 type of milk? Are you telling me that A2 has become a rare commodity? Yes, A2 has become a rare commodity. How A2 has become a rare commodity? You really need our native cows in large numbers to feed the Indian market. India is India is one of the biggest consumers of milk. Milk is like our basic commodity. It is like water to us. Honestly, every family out there probably drinks milk like water. We consume milk every day. We feed our children with milk every day. Okay. Now I'm going to give you next set of numbers to prove how fast the native cows have dwindled. To start with, in 100 years, the number of native breeds, the variety of breeds have dwindled from 130 to 137. We nearly have lost 100 breeds in 100 years. In TN alone, from 1991 to 2016, the number of native the numbers of the native cattle have fastly dwindled from 90,000 to 20,000. After 1991, there has been no reforms taken to preserve the native cows in TN. This is just the TN's. This is at this number. This 90,000 to 21,000 is just TN's number. This is the number. This is how our native cows and native bulls are fast dwindling. So how will you get the A2 milk if there are no cows and bulls back in India? How are you going to get the native milk? Probably, there are still some more cows left, so probably you're getting A2 milk out there still. So what's a big deal? Let me go out there. Now I know what is the difference between the A1 and the A2 milk. I'll go out there. I'll buy the A2 milk. I'll ensure my family's safety. Is that what you are thinking? Let me give you some other fact. There is one Indian industry which flaunts its roots in organic products and which is actually giving a big run for all the international brands. It had a turnover of 5,000 crores this year. It is targeting a turnover of 10,000 crores next year, which is literally doubling up their profits. They have 6 divisions of products, and the topmost division and the division which yields most of their which contributes to their turnover is the dairy division. And can you guess how much was the turnover from the dairy division alone to the 5,000 crores? Is 1,308 crores. The turnover from the dairy industry alone is 1,308 crores for that Indian organic brand. And which is the fast selling product in the organic in the dairy bed? It's the ghee. If you had noticed their ghee cartoons, it has a native cow's image in the ghee's cartoon. Unlike, probably these many years, we would have seen all the other brands flaunting a Jersey cow's image in the ghee cartoon. But this one flaunts a native cow's pictured in the ghee cartoon. What does it signify? It is possibly one of the most expensive ghee available in the Indian market. What does it signify? Well, the A2 is rich in season, so it should be naturally, it should be the most expensive one available because it is a healthier one. No, it doesn't signify that. And are you really proud that and that your life standards have been improved, or that you could afford those key? No, that is we should be actually shameful. We should be shameful of our ignorance, like what has been forcefully inflicted upon us. Let me tell you something. This milk, this A2 milk, was available freely in the Indian market before the corporates took over. It was a basic right. I'm not telling milk is my basic right. My basic right is my access to a healthier living, to healthy food. To healthy living is my basic right. This is my country, and this cow is native to my country, and it has been giving me native milk for all along, and I had a healthy living. And now there is a artificially, forcefully created deficit in the country, and now we are reintroducing the milk at a higher price, which has been my basic right, has been turned into a luxury commodity. Please don't be proud that you are able to afford it. We should be all ashamed of our ignorance. We have given up our basic right. We have allowed the market to convert our basic right into a luxury commodity. This is what is happening. This is the real politics behind it. So, okay, now I have given you the numbers, the politics behind it, and now I'm going to tell you why jallikattu and how jallikattu is going to preserve the native cows, native bulls. I've told you the numbers have dwindled from 90,000 to 21,000, and probably after 1991, I'm talking about tea, and there has been no reforms to preserve the native cows or bulls. So whatever that is left over is in the hands of the farmers. Trust me, friends, there are only two divisions of people you can trust, you can place your trust on. One is army, and the other are the farmers. These are the cattle that are in the hands of the farmers, and I trust them absolutely. I trust their motives, I trust their intentions, I trust that there is no way there is going to be some extra benefits attached to their intentions. And they need a motivation, they need something to glue upon to raise the bulls, to raise the bulls. Bulls are majorly used for plowing or breeding, and apart from that, so they need that to keep it all along the year. They need some motivation or some motivational factor to stick to, and that is why jallikattu is there. Probably it has a traditional mask, it has a traditional claim, but that it doesn't stop there. There is something very, very intense that's beyond it. That is giving up our basic right out of the ignorance and turning our basic rights into luxury commodities. That is what it is happening. Now coming to TN. What is happening in TN? This is what the youngsters in TN are fighting for. They are not fighting for just jallikattu. They are not fighting for A2 milk. They are not just fighting for A2 milk. They are fighting for your basic rights, for our basic right, your basic right, my basic right. That's what they are fighting for a healthier living, for access to healthier food. That is what they are absolutely fighting for. And trust me, this is one of an uprising, and probably people would witness after independence. Every youngster, students, IT employees, people from other sectors, men, women, children, and have all come out to the streets, have all taken up to the streets, have taken this very cause to their shoulders. They have shunned the political leaders. They really don't want to cover themselves under any political mass. There are no political leaders heading that protest. It's just the students and youngsters and men and youngsters heading the protest there. And they are protesting in a very absolutely in a peaceful way. There has been no incidents of violence, no incidents of misbehavior. When the protesters took to the street for their cause, power supply has been cut, access to food and water has been denied, even to children, even to women, even to elderly people. But still, their will is not broken. They have not budged from that place. Without any government supporting us, the national government, the regional government, without any media support, they have all taken up to the streets and have not budged from the place. They have gone to war without not weapons, without any armor and shield, but their will is not broken. They have not, the numbers are, swelling up and not dwindling. The number of protesters are swelling up. I have seen mothers walking into the crowd with 3 or 4 year children, and staying all up the night. Trust me, friends, trust me. Chennai could be cold. Chennai can be really cold at this season of the year, and staying along a beach coast in night is going to be really cold. I would not dare walk with my 4-year-old into that crowd and stay up there all along, but they did it and they are still doing it. That shows the intensity of the issue. Do you really think all these women and men and children will come out just for a sport and fight? No, they're not fighting for a sport. They're not fighting for access to milk industry, for the A2 milk. They're fighting for the birthright, for the access to healthier living, access to healthier food. That is what they are fighting for. How could you capitalize my birthright? That is the very intention of this fight. It is not going to stop with jallikattu. It is not going to stop with protecting our bulls and native bulls and cows. It is going to extend to the farming industry, the very backbone of India. This is a first step. A lift over the ban of jallikattu is going to be the first step, and then it is going to continue further. It is one of a kind. It is one of a kind of a revolution, and a very saddeningly, no media has supported us. Absolutely no support, friends. Well, so this is the current situation in TN, and people have taken to the streets and still sticking to their cause and continuing to fight. Their demands are just two initial demands, like, lifting the ban over jallikattu, banning PETA, the very root cause for bringing a ban over jallikattu. And the second thing is bringing an amendment to the PCA so that the jallikattu will continue without any further ban. I request every one of you watching this video to, for a moment, just ignore that Tamil traditional, the label that's attached to this uprising. Probably it is required for us. Maybe it is required for us, but for you guys, please ignore it and look upon the wider cause. Please look upon the wider cause, because they are not fighting for themselves. They're not fighting for their children, their generations to come. They are also fighting for you. Access to healthier living, healthier food is your birthright as well. They are fighting for your birthright as well, your cause as well. It includes you. It's probably just Tamilians are fighting over there, but they're fighting for you as well. Keep that in mind. Please pay some attention. Please, you really don't have to support us, but start your debate, start asking questions, do your research, and if you feel there is real conviction over there, and if you are really convinced, please extend your support to us. And finally, one request to the media, both the national and the regional media. If at all there is any bit of professional ethics still sticking up to your sleeves, turn your camera on us. This is what you should be focusing right now. This could not be a sensational news. This is not going to probably increase your TRP, and increasing your TRP probably is going to put you high on the market, buy you expensive villas, get you luxury cars and expensive holidays. But keep one thing in mind, that is not going to give you a fair ground or lay a fair ground for healthier generations to come, which will include your prodigies too. Does it ring any bell? If it does, please do what is necessary. Thank you.